What is going on? I'm zmoT. Weird, awkward timing of video release, but you know what? Came across something fairly darn fun. So if you find this interesting, consider throwing code zmoT in your boost. I'm full boost, as you can see right here, full absolute disco, and I have been crushing the Mega Crab. Yes, I'm all the way up to stage 15 as an HQ 27 player. That is sort of tongue-in-cheek though, but check out how I've been doing the Mega Crab. So we started out using some troops, and I changed my engravings as a result of the crab coming, spent the 4 powder, and then stumbled across something very, very fun. So I've got a challenge for you. See how far you can go using only critters. Now we do have the armor engraving that's helping my critters stay alive. We also are full boost, and since the HQ 27 update, critters now get the benefit of troop damage and troop health statues. So I don't think you could have pulled this off before. Now you definitely can though. So that right there was stage number 11, and then stage 12, same deal, just all critters all the time. No cheating bringing heroes, just literally all critters. We're going to use a couple barrage, maybe an artillery to pop some cryo bombs and some shocks. Maybe a smoke or two if required, but overall, 0 troops, 0 heroes, just all critters and all GBE abilities. So just absolutely ridiculous how strong this is. Like, look at this. They are just mowing through defenses and absolutely eating everything up. And you can see there, I threw a couple shocks in. Not sure if the shocks were actually required or not, but my goodness, are they ever just cruising. Typically, stage 15 or so is when bases start to get tough for super low level players, and we are just sending critters, which is just goes to show how ridiculously strong HQ 27 is. Now, I kind of assume the armor engraving is going to get nerfed a little bit, because there have been videos of people like soloing Manticore and completely ignoring the rocket launchers. Just wanted to show you the critter stats here just for the fans. Stats for the fans. Scrolling on down, my critters are only level 10. I say only because there's at least another level above, but check that out. They have extra troop damage and they have extra troop health, so they are critters on steroids, and they are a lot of fun. Would love to see how far you can get. And speaking of engravings, my engraver is back here, and you can see I've got a bunch of engravings done here, and my armor is at level 2, which is at quality level 4. Now there's all sorts of confusion over quality and level and all of the rest of it. I do plan to make another video on that, but just wanted to show you that I'm getting 49 damage per shot taken away off of the defenses. So we've also got GBE gain of 75% thanks to this Mega Crab. So if we have a look at a sniper tower, for example, notice that it's doing 146 damage. It actually has a negative number next to it. And if we look at something like a rocket launcher, you see that it's doing 0 damage, negative damage, and I have confirmed that the negative damage does not heal your troops. And so rocket launchers and flamethrowers are not a big concern at all. This base, we can look at the flamethrowers back here, also doing negative damage, so all we really need to worry about are machine guns. And anyways, enough jibber jabber, let's get into it. We are going to throw a barrage on some things, we're going to throw some critters on this stuff, and clearing those mines. Now we don't even have to worry about those flamethrowers or that rocket launcher, so we're just going to get our critters moving, and we're going to start to clear some form of these mines, and then just look at our critters just hanging out around that flamethrower, getting 0 damage whatsoever. So we will use a shock on those machine guns. And if you guys weren't here, I would be doing 3 times mode, but now that you're here, I'm feeling a little bit of pressure, so gonna be a little bit extra careful as we start throwing barrages on that shock launcher back there, because of course the shock launcher is going to screw up our attack if we allow it to. And here is the biggest problem. I have ignored those that shield gen back there, and I'm kind of curious to see if my critters can burn through that shield all on their own, and it looks like they very much can. So wish I would have scouted so we could see how much health was on that shield, but do give this a shot and let me know how far you managed to get using critters only, because this is just straight up silliness. And I'm curious to hear if any of you are using different engravings for the Mega Crab. I've heard that Sabotage is the go-to ability, but mine's only at 7%, so I'm sticking with Armor, and maybe I switch that later on, but my goodness, is this just ever silly. Like, just silly. So, obviously, mortars are doing a decent amount of damage. Rocket launchers, again, that one's into the negative. I think that's the majority of the defenses we need to worry about. So I am just dropping a bajillion critters. We're going to pop that cryo bomb and that cryo bomb, and then just 3 times mode all the way through a bunch of these levels. Also going to throw that back there, and stage 16, all critters. Just absolute domination. And honestly, I love things like this. Some of you might think that it's stupid or terrible or a bug. Wherever it is, I'm sure Supercell will do some balancing. And I would rather have engravings come in and be super overpowered and then scaled back than the alternative come in boring and have no one care about them. So Supercell, well done. That's one of the things that Brawl Stars always does. The new brawler that comes in is always overpowered, and I would way rather have it come in and be overpowered than have it come in and be super boring. So we are going to get all of these back critters out as soon as those cryo bombs pop, and then we might as well just throw, and look at this, we can actually throw our critters on the flamethrowers as if they have a blind spot and not care about them whatsoever. Just absolutely burning through levels. We got stage 17 done. All critters, no troops. And if you're looking at doing this, and you actually want to push the Mega Crab and you don't want to waste an attack, do not have these troops loaded, because what ends up happening is you end up having 0 GBE left, and then your critters are all dead, and you don't want to have every single troop that costs GBE to land. So Heavy Zuka or something to that effect is a way safer way to go. I kind of want to keep going. This is where I wish I was on a live stream right now, but life just does not allow that to happen. So it's not that I don't want to do live streams, I just, generally speaking, do not have the bandwidth or the time or the capacity to do it. So do know that it is on my list of things that I'd like to do in the Christmas season, but we'll also have to see just exactly how much time we have, because generally speaking, it just never works out. I don't want to make any promises that I have to break. So we're going to get rid of the machine guns back here. We're going to throw more critters onto that rocket launcher, because the rocket launcher is next to those, what are those things called? Shield gens, and then we're just going to sit here and watch in 3 times mode as every single defense has been cleared by critters. And stage 18, as like a headquarters level 18 player, is a tough stage to solo. This is about when things start to get hard for mid to low level players, and so just getting to gold as a mid-level player is quite difficult, getting to stage 40, and it kind of feels like my goal on this Mega Crab is to get to gold using just critters, and that might be completely and utterly stupid, and I probably don't have the patience to give that the full go, but how ridiculous would that be if the engraving and the change to critters makes it so easy that we can get gold using just critters. And all of those flamethrowers are completely and utterly irrelevant. The rocket launchers as well are irrelevant, and so all we have to do is keep some of these mortars shocked, and we should be able... Oh, look at that. Speaking of, that came mighty close. Now, the GBE was flashing there, which meant that my attack was going to end if we let it, which is a little bit strange, or maybe that was because I was on 3 times mode. Anyways, do keep an eye on the end timer. With Rainmakers especially, there's reports of a bug that the attacks are still ending if you have Rainmakers out and they haven't moved or shot in a little bit. So we're gonna go just like straight up boring mode. Don't want to deal with the Shock Blaster, so we're gonna get rid of that. And then where is our spot? Our spot's gonna be about there, and we're gonna get these guys out to help distract, and then throw a barrage on top of all of that stuff. And now can our critters do all of the damage on all of the base? Let's just get all of, and it would have been way better just to smoke them onto this headquarters, but I just don't have the patience for that. We're gonna throw a shock onto that mortar yet again, and maybe now we can just burn through that. Oh, so close. And I think we have just lost our streak unless I'm gonna slow down a little bit here, see if we can't. Look at this. The core health is going down bit by tiny bit. That Shock Blaster is a force to be reckoned with. And now we need to go a little bit smart. We need to throw an artillery there, getting some GBE, doing some damage. Please, please, it's going to be so close. Can we pull this off? And this is where throwing a barrage not on the headquarters ends up doing more damage than if you actually threw one on the headquarters. This is going to be so close. I'm almost certainly going to fail, though. We are going to throw an artillery there, just trying to get more gunboat energy. And then, you know what? I just realized we've got some critters over here. If we pop this critter right here, maybe, just maybe, we can get enough damage to get... It's going to be so close. Come on, critter. Oh, it didn't. I probably should have thrown the barrage instead. And now, as a result, our streak is over. Now, if you really wanted to cheat or be, you could just throw one of these out here, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, because I really don't want to waste an attack. I'm going to call my streak over. Should have gotten stage 20, and you definitely can get stage 20, so the gauntlet has been tossed. I've gotten stage 19. Where did you guys get? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think about the engraving, and if you are going to change your statues up just to get your critters a little bit more health. And that is exactly where those players who play Mega Crab the most have lots of troop damage, lots of troop health. So getting critters even more power, even more oomph is going to be just next level crazy. Anyways, weird Friday night video for me. Do consider subscribing. I've got some sneak peeks on the way. Yes, we've already released like 20 sneak peeks this week, but there is at least one more already scheduled. So I shall talk to you soon. Thank you for coming in, pushing those Mega Crab stages, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for coming in. Peace.